Wrexham led out onto the field by two marching guards, the kind you would see at Buckingham Palace on sentry duty. Wrexham in red, Boreham Wood the visitors in blue. Wrexham's membership of the Football League was cancelled 15 years ago. Can they get back into the club of 92? Can they rejoin Cardiff, Swansea and Newport in the EFL and leave Dorking, Gateshead, Halifax and the rest behind them? They have got 2 bites at this. Torquay next week, but they want the party at the racecourse, not the seaside. Beat Boreham Wood tonight and they are up. You're listening to BBC Radio Wales and BBC Sounds. Your commentary team is the former Wales captain Barry Horn. We might see Mickey Thomas later on as well, who knows? But it's Rob Phillips to guide you through.
Well, if anything tells you Wrexham deserve to be in the Football League, it's the atmosphere, which is beyond non-league. It is almost international. It's international in its attention, this game. It's international in the sounds of a packed racecourse, and that's even with the Cop End looking like a mixture of a car park and a building site. There is so much going on here. This is such a night which has been, as Barry Horn has been saying, 15 years in the making, not just on the pitch but off the field as well. It's Wrexham's chance to put so many heartaches behind them. The pre-match photos are being taken in the semicircle. I'll give you the teams. Wrexham have Ben Foster out of retirement and in goal. Then across the back, Owen O'Connell, Ben Tozer the captain and Tom O'Connor. Then in the wing-backs, Ryan Barner on the right. Jacob Mendy comes in against his former club on the left for Anthony Ford. He's so unlucky. James Jones, Andy Cannon in midfield. Elliot Lee in front of them. Up front, Sam Dolby. And the phenomenal scorer, who is Paul Mullen. Max Clearworth, Mark Howard, Anthony Ford, Jordan Davis, the local boy, and Ollie Palmer on the bench. Boreham Wood are in 6th position in the National League. They have Nathan Ashmore as their only goalkeeper in their matchday squad. Then they go David Adbontoma at the back alongside Chris Bush, Will Evans and Femi Elisamni. George Broadbent, Zach Brunt, Enrico Souza and Jack Payne in midfield. Up front, Tyrone Marsh and Lee Unlove. It's coming up to 10:30 Pacific time in the USA, 1:30 Eastern time. That means so much with Wrexham these days. So here we go. Can Wrexham finally get back into the Football League after a 15-year quest? It's the Hollywood club against the team who are based in the shadow of L Street Studios. The referee is ready. He's Scott Jackson. Looks at his watch. Still keeps us waiting. It's lights, it's camera, it's action, and Wrexham are looking for new history to be made with their return to the 4th tier. It's Boreham Wood playing from right to left in sky blue shirts, sky blue shorts and sky blue socks. Wrexham are in red shirts and white shorts, as you would expect. Early touch for Nathan Ashmore, the Boreham Wood goalkeeper. Slipped as he hit it forward, but got good clearance on it, and then a ball over the top of the Wrexham defence. Oh, hang on, it's chipped in, and Wrexham are behind in the first 15 seconds almost. It's Lee Unlove who got onto an easy ball over the top. This wasn't in the Hollywood script, and within a minute it's Wrexham 0, Boreham Wood 1.
Well, 2 minutes ago I was saying anything could happen. Anything could happen tonight. Boreham Wood are going to come here, they're going to give us a game, that was for sure. But that was a goal that Wrexham's making. Mistake in midfield, mistake at the back, and a very, very easy finish for Unlove. Just the ball sat up perfectly for him. Foster came off his line as he had to, and Unlove just lifted it over the keeper exactly into the middle of the net. One bounce, it was in the back of the net. A dampener, to say the very, very least. A disastrous start, but a long way to go. A long way to go.
Well, they haven't quietened the crowd, but my word, and then the nerves show again. Ben Tozer, really awkward back pass, and Ben Foster has put that ball into the Mould Road.
He only just about got it out for a throw in, such was his the poor contact that he made. I think it was a full-on shinner. Tozer bobbled it back to him. Foster had to deal with it. Not a good connection, and it just about went out for a throw in instead of a corner.
And remember, Wrexham have to win tonight. Notts County have won, so
they don't have to win tonight. They need 3 points.
Yeah.
Between now and the end of the season.
Long throw into the penalty area. The Wrexham penalty area, clambered forward by the former Boreham Wood player Jacob Mendy. Out to that far side, it's going to be played back into the Wrexham box. Tozer gets a better connection on that one. Lovely turn in midfield, and Mullin shoots down the right hand side, comes across, strong challenge on this near side, but Wrexham pick up possession, level with the Boreham Wood penalty area. Barnett trying to thread his way through, couple of step overs, can't get the crossover. James Jones stands by 2 cross, takes a touch though, onto his left foot. Will it be a curler in? No. Gives it to Cannon, gets it back. Jones again, flicks it to the edge of the box. Good turn by Dolby. Jones crosses into the penalty area, and Mullen is beaten to it. Wrexham have responded well. Barnett can cross again. Low cross into the box, took a deflection. Ashmore came for it, didn't go for it in the end though, and it should be cleared by the best defence in the National League. It's 1-0 Boreham Wood.
Good patient play from Wrexham. Lovely play down the right hand side, some nice passing. Well done Sam Dolby for keeping that move going, but just seeing an example there of really good defending. Everybody in the right position, attacking the ball, getting the ball clear. Good defending, nice play from Wrexham. They have responded well to that really shocking start.
Elliot Lee sends Mendy herring down the left hand side. Been chased all the way, and then he's brought down. That's a free kick to Wrexham.
That should be a yellow. Referees.
Erico Souza, the former Portuguese under-19 player.
If that happens later in the game, that's a yellow. The referee's just giving himself a bit of breathing space there.
Probably wise.
Yeah.
This atmosphere.
It could get lively, couldn't it?
4.5 minutes gone. And it's a Wrexham free kick wide on that touchline, down their left-hand side. There's one in the wall. And it's going to be floated in from that far side. Tozer's coming beyond the far post. Took a deflection off the one-man wall and bounces out for the first corner.
Well, it's just as well he did hit the wall there, because it was a very, very poor delivery, and it would have been cleared easily. But now Wrexham have got another chance to put the ball in the box from their left, right-footed in-swinging corner. It's
Elliot Lee who's gone across to take that, I think, on that far side. Tozer, the Wrexham captain, being spoken to by the referee Scott Jackson. They are really surrounding Ashmore, the goalkeeper. There are 6 Boreham players in the 6-yard box. They don't need to be though, because it's cleared away. Mendy picks it up, may shoot right-footed, blocked though. And there's a Boreham player down it, Zach Brunt, who took it in the, well, you know where I'm going to say. Cleared it away. It's probably the most painful injury a man can get. He's still down, is Zach Brunt. He's not getting much sympathy from the Wrexham fans around us, and Wrexham are continuing. He stays down, Brunt. Referee allows play to go on. It's not a head injury, far from it. Now Brunt is up. Gingerly, you have to say. Wrexham tried to break through, but they give the ball away, and that'll just be pumped downfield by Tyrone Marsh.
There's an indication of how Boreham would approach this game. So they're 1-0 up. It's minutes into the game, and they never had anybody within 10 yards of the halfway line.
No, they didn't.
Everybody was in the final third. They won the ball back, and they're quite happy just to kick it in behind Wrexham's defence and let them start again.
It's 1-0 Boreham Wood. Oh, great turn by Mendy. Now he can cross left-footed from that left side into the penalty area. Only half cleared. It was an awkward clearance as well.
Yeah.
It's Ilasami.
He didn't look comfortable there at all the time in the world. He could have brought that down. He could have just pushing it back to his keeper. But panicked a little bit. Wasn't sure what was behind him. Wasn't sure if Barnett had come in onto that far post.
7 minutes gone. Wrexham 0, Boreham Wood 1. It's going to be a left-sided corner again, which Elliot Lee is going to take. That's a better one into the 6-yard box. It's headed high and wide by Ben Tozer that time. Got up though. They've definitely got an advantage of height when they go forward, Wrexham.
For Barnett, you can see defensively very, very solid. In corners, they set up with 8 players within 2 metres of the goalposts, strung almost across the goal line. Really packed that 6-yard box.
They've got men forward now. Marshall's the target. O'Connor beats into that, and then it's played out for a Wrexham throw, which Mullin is keen to which Dolby was keen to take quickly, but rolls it back to Mendy. Mendy infield for Lee, flicks the ball across to the Irish international Owen O'Connell. Played for Celtic in Europe, of course. Tozer brings the ball up towards halfway, and Mullin just almost stumbled as he went to play that, clip it out first time on the from the deck, but it curled out for a Boreham Wood throw. And you can see what they're doing already. We heard Phil Parkinson say when he was chatting to Molly Stevens earlier that Parkinson warned his players, Barry, they will slow at every set piece. They will take their time. Don't get frustrated.
They're going to do even more now because they're a goal up.
Yes, they will. They don't look brilliant on the ball, you have to say, but they've got the job done at the moment. 1-0, long way to go though.
Yeah, it was a gift. The goal was an absolute gift. Shocking start from the home team.
Ball is too long and out for a Wrexham goal kick. Ben Foster already has the ball ready. And nobody expected this, it's fair to say. And that's a poor ball out of Wrexham defence. Broadbent got on that. He scored against Wealdstone to keep Boreham Wood in the hunt for a home qualifier. Remember, they're 6th position at the moment, but they've got a game in hand over Barnet, who are above them. 2 games in hand. Well, they've got 2 games left to play, but a game in hand. Barnet have got 1 match left. Boreham would have got 2 after this. So they need points to claim a home game in the quarterfinals of the playoffs, which will be against Barnet. 1-0 they lead here at the moment. That's a better ball forward by Tozer, out to Lee, pulled wide on the Wrexham left. Infield to Mendy. Mendy dribbles past one, then has it just taken off him.
Yeah, look, once again, lovely play from Wrexham. Great ball out to the left. Mendy, not the first time tonight. Great touch, little turn of pace, gets into the heart of the defence, but then it's just smothered. The number, quite simply, the number of blue shirts that are around him.
One or 2 already. Obviously, their fans in the ground. They didn't hear Phil Parkinson say that they would be slow on every set piece.
The fans haven't been briefed, no.
No, they haven't. Good ball out of defence. Tyrone Marsh slipped again. I saw him warming up actually, and he slipped a lot in the warm-up. But Broadbent, who's on loan from Sheffield United, took a part, and then the ball is clipped forward by Brunt, who is also on loan from Sheffield United. They've been beaten today, by the way, by Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final. 3-0, Riyad Mahrez hat-trick. It's 1-0 Boreham Wood here. with Wrexham looking for 3 points to give them the title. Notts County moved to within a point of them again today with victory at Maidstone. A 5-2 victory, where the astonishing Macaulay Langstaff started on the bench. Good ball in by Mullen as Dalby blocked as he went into the penalty area. Bit of hesitancy, but Boreham would clear the ball away beyond Undlove, who gave them the lead with inside the first minute. Barry Horn.
That's the second time that the ball has found its way out from Wrexham's left to the far post, effectively on the right hand side of the pitch. Barnett's not, he should be in there for me, because that's the second time that Ilisami's really been panicking and he's under no pressure. If Barnett could get in there and nip across the front of him, he looks like a bit of a panicker to me, the left full-back.
Header forward by Payne, Jack Payne. Broadbent turns it round the corner, hooked over his shoulder though by James Jones. Such an effective operator in that midfield. Bit of an unsung hero in this Wrexham side. That's a long throw though down the Wrexham right. Wrexham pick up the second ball. O'Connor has space in his own penalty area to run out, feed Mendy, who's just a little bit further upfield. Back out to O'Connor. Oh, he's almost caught by Undlove. Wasn't the best ball back to him by Mendy. And it's 1-0 Boreham Wood. We've played 13 tense minutes here at the racecourse. In Judgment Day, Cardiff, who suspended Director of Football Di Young last night, Director of Rugby, sorry, are 31-7 up against the Ospreys. And Alan Wynne-Jones, Welsh rugby legend, has gone off for the Ospreys in what could be his final game for the region. Here, Wrexham have their own problems. They're trailing 1-0 to Boreham Wood. Elliot Lee driven back into his own half, shadowed everywhere he goes. So they look forward to Dalby, who's pulled out on that left side. That's where Wrexham are getting most joy at the moment, Barry Horn.
Yes, and Mendy is the one who is able to get himself free. Elliot Lee, obviously as the creator in chief, is quite right, being closely marked. Mendy's getting himself in space though.
Barnett has space on the right hand side. Barnett, look, good cross into the middle. It's an equaliser! Elliot Lee, deft header at the far post, and Wrexham has shrugged off the early shock, and it's Wrexham 1, Boreham Wood 1.
Brilliant. Fantastic wing play. I love to see a midfielder getting into the box, but there are a few greater sights in football, Rob, when that ball leaves the winger's foot and you know it's going to be in the back of the net. It's a brilliant cross. Takes his man on, doesn't skin him, just gets the space to put the cross in. He clips it absolutely perfectly, takes the keeper out of the game, and Elliot Lee is arriving, and it's a bullet header. He didn't have to break stride, he didn't even have to jump. The cross was absolutely fabulous, and as I say, it's one of those crosses when it leaves the winger's foot and you know it should end up in the back of the net if the other players are doing their jobs. Great run, great bit of wing play, great goal.
Goal number 13 for Elliot Lee. What a good signing he's been. Son of Rob Lee, of course, former Newcastle
his dad
player.
would have been proud. His dad would have been proud of that. But well done, Barnett. Great wing play. Lovely cross.
Yeah,
Deserved to be headed home.
it was a cross of perfection by Ryan Barnett. He's going to look for the ball again. Ilisami this time gets it away. Jones follows up. Barnett keeps it in on the near touchline, midway inside the Boreham Wood half. Wrexham playing from left to right. Cannon's on the ball. Barnett runs towards the penalty area, pushed over by Ilisami.
Do you know what? That again, later in the game, that's a yellow.
Yeah, and that comes from the nervousness caused by the goal.
He's defended okay, he's got the ball clear, but he doesn't look at all comfortable. Barnett now knows, well, both players know, Ilisami knows and Barnett knows, that the Wrexham man has got the beating of him. give him the ball. And in fact, both wide men, Barnett and Mendy, looks over the beating of their direct opposite numbers.
So 1-1, we've only played 16 minutes. Wrexham have recovered from the early shock. Now this free kick is about 5 yards from the edge of the Boreham Wood penalty area. O'Connor is over it, but I suspect
it's set up for the right foot of this.
The goal getter, Paul Mullin. No, it's O'Connor who takes it, and it flicks off the wall for a Wrexham corner. What do we know, Barry Horn?
Nothing.
I mean, you did captain Wales.
Well, it was just the way the keeper had set himself. If I was out there, I would have been saying to Mullin, no, this is yours.
So Wrexham crowd the 6-yard box again, looking to home in on their advantage. That's a really good corner. Ashmore uncomfortably punches it away. It's picked up by Barner. O'Connor stayed out on this right side, lays it back to Jones. Jones floats in a teasing cross, headed away before it could get to Tozer. Cannon is going to pick it up left side now. Arcing run towards the touchline, stopped in his tracks. Oh, free kick against for Andy Cannon.
I think that's 2. Oh no, sorry, it was the full-back, wasn't it? Okay, so 3 fouls.
That was Agbon to Homer.
Yeah. As I say, later in the game, easily any one of them 3 could have been a yellow.
So this is going to be swept in from the far side. The posh seats high above where this free kick is going to be taken. All when they're red and white scarves as the free kick goes in.
Well defended again.
Yeah, it was. Headed back into the box. Not so well cleared that time. Ilisami should clear it now, having been set up. Tozer blocks it. I wonder whether Molly Stevens has seen anything happening on the bench. How did Wrexham, I hope Molly can hear us, how did Wrexham react when they went behind, Molly?
Well, I tell you what, a penny for Phil Parkinson's thoughts. Now that's one thing I am a luxury to hear, seeing every single emotion he's feeling, and you can just tell that he feels every blade of grass with these players. Every time they go for a header, his head moves too. He feels every single moment. But the interesting thing is, when Elliot Lee scored that goal, he ran immediately to the side of the pitch, and all of a sudden he realised where he was and that it's only 1-1. Time to go back, time to regather himself and not give too much away. But it's incredible down here. He is tense. You can see it in his face, Rob.
Molly Stevens giving us not the bird's eye view, it's the touchline view from the racecourse, which is seething at the moment. It's 1-1. And I've said it before, when Wrexham get a goal, they just scent blood. They're like wild dogs you see on those African wildlife programs. When they get a scent of a prey, they try and really savage you, and they're looking for another goal, with goals I mean, as Tozer launches the first long throw of the evening. It's headed out of the Boreham Wood box. They're going chasing it, but it's lobbed back at them. And then there's
there was a nudge there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nudge, but Mendy is forced into... Actually, he's done well. He's won the throw-in when he was under pressure from Iruko Souza. And it's 1-1, Barry Horn. 20 minutes gone. And it's a good game, to be fair. It's a good game.
If you take that... oh, here we go.
Oh, it's a lovely header inside by Lita Mullin. Mullin just has it taken off him, though, as he tried to control the ball. Ilisami just really lays it back.
Poor touch from Mullin. He takes that with his back foot. The space was to his right. He's gone back to his left where all the defenders were. Nice header, really nice cushion header. Good vision from Lee just to drop it into Mullin there. Should have done better with that. You say it's a good game, Rob. If you take out the first 15 seconds, if you take out that horror show of 2 or 3 seconds when Wrexham shot themselves in the foot, Boreham would have barely been out their half.
They have, you're right. Acrobatic clearance out of their box again. Lee, the Wrexham goal scorer, legs straight to bounce, and a lovely turner on his marker. Slider inside the menus, inside the penalty area, tried to set up Mullin. Mullin didn't get the ball, he got the man, and he conceded the free kick.
Has the referee given a free kick?
Yeah, he has, for the foul on Jack Payne.
That's a strange one. I didn't think that was a foul at all. I thought that was a good tackle from Mullen. Brilliant turn from Italy, tight on the touchline. Defender's expecting to turn inside because he thinks he's got no space. He just lets it run down the outside and he's away. Nice little ball inside to Mendy, and again the ball comes to Mullen. It's his touch that is the breakdown of the attack.
1-1. And Rob McElhenney, we've already seen him on the pitch today. Ryan Reynolds, we've already seen him on the pitch today. Rob McElhenney, he'll be here as well. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. That's what he created. And Ryan Reynolds, of course, Deadpool himself. We've also got Ant-Man with us today. Every week there's a different Hollywood star turns up. So we're surrounded by superheroes. And the Wrexham players are trying to make themselves heroes. Launch forward again for Undlove. The Boreham Wood goal scorer at the chase. O'Connell takes control. Doesn't let Undlove get anywhere near. He is the son of Peter Undlove.
That's about the extent of their footballing ambition at the moment, isn't it, Boreham Wood? It's just a long ball over the top and hope that one of the strikers can maybe get onto it, or hope that there's some sort of mistake, which would be a repeat of the first goal.
Well, that was his 13th goal of the season, so it obviously works for them. As Tozer floats the ball out to the left side to Lee, who's
it's been really clever, Elliot Lee, because there's very little space in midfield, so he's getting all of his joy tight on that left touchline at the moment.
And he's made a little dart forward, which took the attention of a couple of the defenders. It's cleared away over Tozer's head. O'Connell waits. Tyrone Marsh gives chase. He won the National League with Macclesfield a few years ago in 2019. Good ball forward though, chested down by Dolby, who's quite tall. Mullen looks for Barnett on this near side. Barnett, we've already seen the damage he can create. This time Elisandri gets goal side, tries to break away with the ball, brushes through one challenge. Cannon nicks it off him, lays it for Barnett, gives it back to Cannon. Cannon thought about crossing first time, slides it into Barnett in the penalty area, tries to go to the byline, has to go back though. Cannon once more, just on the right side of the penalty box. Now Barnett on this near side touchline, tries to get the cross, bounces back to him. He's going to have another go. He's going to chip it into the box this time. I think he was looking for Cannon. Overhit the chip.
Wrexham won it back.
O'Connell wins the ball back strongly. Lee touches it forward. Payne is there though. Boreham Wood should clear.
There's ways
to up to Tyrone Marsh. Marsh, after O'Connell flew in, didn't get there. Attacks Tozer. He's up to the edge of the penalty area. Has to retreat. Not much support for him. Elisandri was offering. He's on the ball now. Stocky left back. What a chunky player, really. Hope he won't mind me saying that. Broadbent wide to the right hand side. Sousa, the Portuguese player, ponytail behind him, puts it inside. Lovely ball into the box, which O'Connell just gets to. It was heading towards Tyrone Marsh then.
That's Boreham Wood's best passage of play, actually, in terms of possession and passing the ball. But as tight as this Boreham Wood defence is, as quickly as they get back and pack the defence, there's ways through it. Wrexham's passing hasn't been good enough up to now, and one way through it is down this right hand side where Elisandri is all over the place at the moment.
Chris Bush, the big centre back, takes a long throw into the box, floated into the 6-yard box, headed away by Dolby, and then Jones is brought down. Free kick Wrexham, 1-1. Ospreys have brought it back to 31-21 in the Judgment Day game at the National Stadium, Principality Stadium. Nathan Ashmore has had more than 80 appearances for Boreham Wood. Collects the ball, long ball forward. It's 1-1 and we played 26 minutes, Barry Horn, and it's captivating stuff, isn't it?
It is, and it's a classic, you know, one of the best attacks in the league versus the best defence. So far it has been all Wrexham in terms of an attacking force.
Sousa is in behind the defence. There's no flag gone up. The cross into the middle. O'Connell heads it away.
But I have to say, Boreham Wood, last 5 minutes coming into it a little bit as an attacking force. Wrexham just need to sharpen up their passing in the final third, because as I said, there's ways through the defence that it's Wrexham's passing and decision making that's let them down so far.
Broadbent leaves it to Bush, so we've seen one long throw from the left side for Boreham. This is from the opposite side. Bush takes it, he gets good distance, it's headed up in the air. O'Connor plays it away for Wrexham. Jones goes chasing, comes back out to Bush. Bush tries to cross beyond Jones. It bounces out for another throw, so he'll
Jones
just drop down.
Didn't get his starting position correct there. He was inviting the right-footed cross, and okay, he's blocked it, but it's at the expense of a throw-in deep into Wrexham's half, and we've seen that Boreham would have their own long throw.
The bearded Will Evans is up from the back as well. He's the target, just gets beaten to it. Elisande heads it back towards the 6-yard box. Out to the penalty area now, picked up by Payne. Payne leaves it to Broadbent, slides it forward to Brunt. This is better by Boreham Wood. They put in some power. Elisande, I don't know what he's doing. He's sort of pirouetted over the ball. He's still going forward with it until he loses it. It's cleared away by Barnett. Bit of holding on Paul Mullen, maybe? No, not according to the referee. Brunt again, little swaps passes and then gets a rebound. May shoot from distance, just over the top. He did shoot from distance.
Good effort. And if that, very often a keeper, that ball's gone over the bar by about a foot. Very often, if it was under the bar, the keeper would have saved it. I don't think Ben Foster would have if that was a little bit lower. He was a couple of yards off his line, and he could have been beaten there. So Boreham Wood definitely coming into the game. And Elisande, I'm not quite sure what to make of him. I think he's got mistakes, and we've seen that Barnett's got the better of him. But he's been heavily involved in Boreham Wood as an attacking threat down this left-hand side. Should we say he's unpredictable?
Well, if he doesn't know what
exactly.
he's going to do, how can a defender know? Former Wales and Wrexham captain Barry Horn alongside me. Evans, the big centre-back, intervened then as Wrexham tried to...
Now Wrexham needs to be quicker.
Through ball, but now Evans is way back as Mullen jogs forward. He's going to struggle to get back in the middle if Wrexham can get the crossing. Barnett is being held up, and then he shrugged off the ball unfairly, says the referee.
So that's 2 blatant fouls by Elisande already.
Free kick taken quickly.
Yeah.
They weren't 10 yards, and Payne is being booked. I'm not sure about that.
No, that's right, Rob.
They took it quickly.
Yes, but he was...
Yeah, he was within 10 yards. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, no, that's right. The referee's called that one properly. But on that turnover of possession now, we haven't seen Barnett show any sort of adventure until these last few minutes. Now, when Wrexham win that last ball back there, Boreham Wood out of position, and Wrexham have got to sense that and get the ball into the danger areas more quickly than they did.
Well, Will Evans is 31 now. He's a big unit to get back when he's charging upfield like that. So Elliot Lee, the Wrexham goal scorer, who replied to a shock opener from Peter Undler for Boreham Wood, is going to take this right-sided free kick 8 yards from the left corner of the Boreham Wood penalty area. Everyone to his left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Wrexham players in the penalty area, plus 2 homing around outside, waiting for a loose ball. Lee cools it in, headed out. Headed back towards the goal by Barnett, and then an attempted back flick, and it was Paul Mullen. It was a bicycle kick. It wasn't too far away. I saw Cardiff City's Sori Kaba score from much closer to that against Watford on Wednesday, which was an astonishing goal. That would have been even better had that been on target.
An outrageous effort. Ball nodded back in. And Mullen tightly marked, not in the centre of the goal at all, out to Wrexham's left, touch on his chest, then a sort of half overhead kick volley, wasn't it? And it was a decent enough strike. and Ashmore wouldn't have got to it if it was on target.
No,
I think looking at it, it was probably 3 or 4 foot wide of the post, but certainly the keeper wouldn't have got down to it. Such was the surprise of the attempt. But that's the type of thing you can do when you've got 44, 45 goals in total to your name. And
it's 45 at the moment, 36 in the league, 9 in the FA Cup. They often miss the one he scored against Blythe Spartans, but we don't. As the ball is floated into the Wrexham penalty area, and that man Ilisamni, he really is unpredictable. This time he was flying forward to head it just wide.
Do you know what? He might have done better. Give Ryan Barnett credit. He was up against him, made it difficult for him. For me, the fullback there has got to run, and he should be doing better. Similar physical height to Barnett, could have got up over the top of him, and Wrexham would have been in trouble. But credit to Barnett for sticking with him and getting up against him on the far post.
O'Connell, good header forward. Bush waits for it to drop, and he holds off Mullen. Chips it forward, left-footed, over the head of Unlove. Ben Foster collects for Wrexham, beaten by a little lob by Unlove in the first minute, but he had no chance of catching that, Ben Foster. It was mistakes in front of him, but then the man on the ball now, Elliot Lee, ghosted in with a lovely far post header. He's gone to ground, he wins the free kick. We'll go down to Molly Stevens in a moment, but we'll just wait to see what Wrexham can do from this free kick, because you can't take your eyes off this one. So much at stake, so much for Wrexham to look forward to. Yes, they've got the fallback of Torquay next Saturday. Remember, they need 3 points. 1 point would help them along. It'll give them a 2-point advantage over Notts County, but it would go to the last day. Torquay, of course, basically relegated because of their goal difference. Free kick to Boreham Wood inside their penalty area. Molly Stevens, there's Phil Parkinson kicking everybody. Has he kicked you yet?
He definitely hasn't done that, thank goodness. I have had a ball in my direction which hit over a whole bunch of water bottles next to me. Thankfully didn't hit me, but there's lots of time for that. But what I want to tell you about is Luke Garrard, the Boreham Wood manager, extremely animated here in the dugout. Poor John Mulligan, the fourth official, is having a lot of Luke Garrard in his ear at the moment. Wasn't too happy with that yellow card given to Jack Payne, which led to that free kick from Elliot Lee. He felt that Owen O'Connell was going to be a real threat on goal there from the Elliot Lee free kick. Obviously that didn't transpire, but it's all Luke Garrard here at the moment, very loud on the touchline. Phil Parkinson seems to be keeping himself to himself at the moment, but the rain is starting to fall here. I can feel it trickling down my head as we speak. So next update, perhaps I'll be absolutely soaked, but hopefully a few more goals, Rob.
Well, I'm sure with all the Hollywood money they could find you an umbrella, Molly, that's for sure. Although it doesn't rain much in Hollywood, nice. Does it? That's the problem. They probably don't
sunny
come
in Wrexham.
Absolutely. Here all week. Wrexham are on the break. Mullen tries to charge into the box. He does. Angle against him in the end. Inside left. Ashmore just plunges on it.
That's a better break. Quicker. Getting the ball forward quickly. Great run from Mullen. And unusually for Mullen, his vision let him down there, because Dolby was in absolute acres of space in the penalty area if he could have just cut it across goal.
This is Ilisamni. We've talked a lot about him. He's taken on Barnett for pace now. Oh, he gets a cross in, and it almost sneaked inside Ben Foster's near post. He used all his experience to... I hate it when keepers get beaten by that, but you do see it. Well, you had Neville Southall behind you, so it never happened.
Never happened.
You know what I mean?
Nev. Oh God, if that ever happened to Big Nev, it wouldn't show my face. even if it wasn't my fault.
No, quite. Boreham would have definitely seen more of the ball now, and definitely more of an attacking threat. Endlove has picked up a good position. O'Connell and Tozer between them snuff out that threat. Tozer plays it forward. Payne, who's just been booked, has headed the ball out, and Phil Parkinson, we can see him now from where we are. He's left Molly Stevens' side, and he's gone to just grab the ball quickly. Now he retreats to no more than 3 or 4 yards away from our touchline reporter, who's right in the thick of the action. And I'm enjoying it from a bird's eye view with Barry Horn, former Wales and Wrexham captain. And it's an engrossing game, this one, with so much at stake. It's 1-1. Mendy takes on his man on the left-hand side. Will Evans heads it out.
I can never understand why Mendy there, he's beat his man.
He's taken on Sousa again, but this time
that's a corner. That's
it is a corner. Good spot, Barry. Oh my word! I'm going to borrow your glass.
You don't want to borrow these, Rob, I promise you. So Mendy's beat his man there, and he's clear of him, and he's crossed it from 18-20 yards. Why doesn't he take another touch? Why doesn't he take another couple of touches, get to the byline where they're much more likely to hurt Boreham, because they're comfortable. These balls coming in from 20-25 yards.
Lee with the corner. Big shot for handball from the crowd, not from the players out there. Bush tries to escape with it, runs into traffic though. So Tyrone Marsh comes across, robs Tom O'Connor and nicks it against his foot, the Wrexham player's foot, and out for a throw-in to Boreham Wood. In the Championship, Blackburn Rovers are 1-up at Preston. Schmorik's the goal scorer there. Obviously, if you missed it earlier, Swansea City, amazingly, still in with the chance of playoffs. They're not too far away, and unlikely, but they won 3-0 at Norwich, who ended up with 10 men. Cardiff drew 1-1 at home to Stoke. Sori Kaba scored a goal and had a penalty saved. Newport County won 3-1 at Doncaster. And in the Cardiff have just won the Welsh Shield. They've beaten the Ospreys. We'll give you the score as soon as we have it. So they put their 38-21. There we are. It's rugby, by the way, as if you didn't know. And don't forget, talking of rugby, it's the Women's Six Nations tomorrow. Wales are in France, in Grenoble. Chris Wathan, my colleague, will be leading the coverage from Grenoble. And in the excitement, my microphone just came away from its lead, so you may have missed that. It starts at 3 o'clock tomorrow. As Dalby, wearing 18, nicks it off Broadbent, charges towards the penalty area, takes a 1-2 from Mullen. Good challenge though on Dalby as he was about to pull the trigger, and there's a head injury on the player who slid in. I think that was Broadbent again, wasn't it?
I think Dalby just caught him as he went down. So lovely little 1-2 from Mullen. The defender was always favourite, to be fair. Dalby was always going to get to the ball, but he wasn't really going to be able to get a shot off or a cross off, because the defender was always favourite to come in and take the ball from him. He slid in, taking the ball, and Dalby, perfectly fair challenge. Dalby's gone down, and I think he's caught him as he lands. It wasn't a particularly heavy fall, no. And you just wonder, is this part of Boreham Wood just slowing the game down? Maybe. Referee certainly couldn't take a chance, could he?
No, he couldn't. No, and it's absolutely correct as well. And meanwhile, both sets of players are over on the near touchline, just having a few instructions. It's actually Steve Parkin, the Phil Parkinson's assistant, who's done most of the talking then. And Luke Garrard is busy as well. Luke Garrard, actually, he's had 384 games in charge of Boreham Wood since 2015, and at the time he was appointed, he was the youngest boss in the top 5 divisions. So it's going to be a drop ball for Boreham as the ball is cleared over halfway. Tozer helps it down to Barnett down this right hand side. Barnett, ball over the top. Dalby will give chase, and Will Evans stopped the ball and then slipped almost, and it's going to be a Wrexham throw. We're going to see a Ben Tozer howitzer. Now Kevin Ratcliffe didn't know what a howitzer was on Tuesday, but I'm assuming, Barry Horn, you're far more learned than your former teammate.
Yes.
You know what a howitzer is. And this is one of the...
It wasn't his best throw, to be fair,
was pumped into the edge of the 6-yard box. No. Ball down the line, and then Bush is across as O'Connor slipped. He's still putting pressure on Bush, who shepherds the ball out for a goal kick. What I will say about Kevin Ratcliffe, though, is when Anthony Ford scored the first goal, he said, "Now that's a howitzer." So he soon learned. 1-1 Barry Horn, 4 minutes to half time. Your thoughts?
The game's just gone. Boreham would have achieved what Phil Parkinson said they would set out to achieve. They've properly killed the game. Wrexham found it difficult to get any momentum, any constant pressure. Boreham would have come into the game as an offensive outfit a little bit more in the last 10 minutes. But Wrexham certainly not having it all their own way, certainly not dominating in terms of possession or territory at the moment. The game's just got a little bit flat, a little bit scrappy, and that suits Boreham Wood.
Agbon-Tahoma, who was signed from Sheffield Wednesday in February after an initial loan, takes a long throw down that right touchline, the far side, headed away by O'Connor, but it's going to break to the busy Broadbent in midfield. Then Evans swoops it forward into the Wrexham penalty area. Jones helps it away, but it's straight to Brunt, who's down that right side again, pursued by Elliott Lee, who scored the Wrexham goal.
Now, for the first time, Boreham would have committed a lot of men forward. Can Wrexham win it and break?
Cross into the middle, headed away by O'Connell, picked up by Bush. Payne helps it right, Broadbent to the far side. Powerful run down the right hand side. They're in behind the Wrexham defence. Don't think they kept it in, they didn't.
I think he was offside as well.
Yeah. That was Agbon-Tahoma, who we've not seen power down that right side as he did then. I don't know what it is about me, but I see so many. See if you agree, Barry Horn, you see plenty of games. How many bandages do you see on players' hands these days? What is all that about?
It's excuses, Rob. Get your excuse in early.
Did you ever wear a bandage on your hand?
Well, no.
To play?
This is the thing I was saying to people. Back in the day, I am a dinosaur. I sound like a dinosaur because I am one. Back in the day, the last thing you ever wanted was to let your opponent know you were hurt, or the last thing you ever wanted was for anybody to know that you were, potentially had an injury. Yeah. Now it's exactly the opposite.
Gloves?
I remember. And Will Evans, 6'4", slightly overweight, experienced centre back, orange boots, and he's slipping over and he's looking at his boots and thinking, yeah, well, just put a proper pair of boots on.
No, you do sound like a dinosaur, Barry.
That's because I am one.
And two players have collided then, going for the ball. Dolby is one of them. There's a Boreham Wood player, I think it's Bush. Fair play. It was a race between the two physios then. Hoodgard is just talking to someone, just motioning to somebody in the crowd, I think, just pointing to his head. I don't know what that was about. So it's 1-1, and we are waiting for the fourth official, who is John Mulligan, to have his big moment, at least at the end of the first half. Jack Payne has come across to have a chat with Luke Garrard. John Mulligan is just preparing the board, and I think it says 2 minutes. It does. 2 minutes of added time, and I suspect the boos are because the Wrexham fans think Boreham Wood have taken their time at so many set pieces. It should be a bit more. Yeah,
they've taken a few minutes out of the game there, haven't they? They've achieved exactly what Phil Parkinson said they would set out to achieve, and the half is just fizzled out.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Phil Parkinson's point was to Mulligan then. They show more adventure though. The last 15 minutes of this half, I'd say, Boreham Wood. Evans does well on halfway up to the goal scorer Undlove. Robbed by two Wrexham players, one of them James Jones. Back to O'Connor, midway inside his own half. He's the left-sided of the three centre-backs. He's actually a midfield player, but he plays with real aplomb at the back as well. Here on BBC Radio Wales and BBC Sounds, of course, as the ball is threaded forward, looking for Mendy.
Mendy didn't read the pass. That was a lovely ball. O'Connor's gone for the difficult ball. He's played it inside the fullback at Bontahoma, but Mendy's read it as coming the other side of him. He's made the wrong run. It's a great ball in, which would have put Mendy in behind the defence.
So we're in the dying seconds of a really interesting first half here at the racecourse on such a big night for this home of Welsh football in North Wales. Half cleared from the Wrexham penalty area again. Lee jumps in, ends up on the deck, ball ends up out for a Boreham Wood throw, and we've seen that David Agbontahoma, easy for me to say, is capable of a long throw, but this looks like he's going to take it short. Getting a bit of help from the fans behind him. A chivvy up. It's going to come straight back at him by a broad bent, and he knocks it against the heels of Dolby. Only Mullen up front for Wrexham, but we are seconds away from the break now, as Agbontahoma throws it into the box. Little touch for Marsh. Marsh is ushered off it, and then Jones is brought down. So it's a Wrexham free kick, which Foster takes quickly, but there'll be nothing in that because that is the half-time whistle, and it's a slightly subdued racecourse because Boreham Wood struck the first blow. Peter Undlove's son, Lee Undlove, scored within the first minute to stun the packed crowd here. Elliot Lee put Wrexham level on 15 minutes. A point, well, it wouldn't be enough, but it would certainly, there's plenty to go. We're only at half-time, and as we've seen so often, Wrexham are a big second-half side. They'll need it if they want to clinch promotion tonight, because at half-time, it's Wrexham 1, Boreham Wood 1.
Yeah, a few boos for the match officials, perhaps predictably. Not quite sure what the Wrexham fans might disagree with necessarily from that first half, but yeah, we had a plot twist, didn't we, that we didn't expect with that early Boreham Wood goal, but then the good guys got their retaliation in. Now we need a hero in the second half. Drama, of course. What did you expect from the Hollywood club? 1-1 at the break. Barry Horn. It's all set up for a cliffhanger ending second half.
Rob's quite right. The number of times I've sat here at half time, and you know, it's been a similar type of frustrating half, and then Wrexham have come and in 10-15 minutes have got the job done. They did, of course, gift the goal to Boreham Wood. It was an absolute out and out gift. Mistake in midfield, mistake at the back. Foster's off his line, easy finish for Unlove. Wrexham then dominated, and Boreham Wood were quite content to sit deep and soak up the pressure. Then, for me, the one moment of absolute quality led to the goal. Ryan Barnett, just an exquisite cross, firmly planted in the back of the net from close range. And then Boreham Wood opened up a little bit and they came out. And the one thing that Wrexham have failed to do is they've not counter-attacked quickly enough. They've been too slow in going from one end of the pitch to the other, too ponderous, and at times they've had to be patient because once Boreham Wood are in place, they defend very, very, very well. But on the occasions when Wrexham have had the odd occasion they've had to break quickly, haven't really done it, and I'm sure that's something that Phil Parkinson might be saying. Look, let's see if we can move that ball forward quickly, much more quickly on the turnover. Because Boreham Wood have become a little bit more adventurous. There was times there they were left with two at the back. Wrexham didn't ever look like capitalising on it.
Well, we'll find out what happens then. Second half, 45 minutes for Wrexham to find someone in red to get them the goal that takes them back into the Football League. It's going to be tense and tight all evening here on Radio Wales and BBC Sounds. Talking of tense and tight, Molly Stevens in the dugout area for us. Molly, I was trying to work out who the male voice choir is over on that far side, the Mould Road stand. Do you know?
I've got that answer for you, yes. I've just asked Claire in Ashford, who's told me that it's Avron male voice voice choir, Avron Male Voice Choir, who are giving us a rendition of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Fantastic, lovely to hear. Right on the other side of the pitch from me, actually. I don't know if you can see me from where you are, can you?
Of course I can, yeah, you're waving
there
at
we go, I can see you. Beautiful, beautiful. Now that's one thing you've got a luxury of there, Ian, is that you're not feeling the rain. It's raining down here.
Oh, you're getting soaked. You're getting wet.
I'm getting wet. I am getting wet. But look, it's been a good first half, really, with regards to what I've been able to see from here. Lots of insight from both benches. As I mentioned earlier, Luke Garrard has been full of animation, really having some serious words with John Mulligan, the fourth official. Phil Parkinson has been keeping himself to himself on the whole, and Steve Parkin, his assistant, has been doing most of the talking from the dugout and from the touchline. But overall, I think both sets of coaches seem to be okay with what's happened in the first half. Some feel a little aggrieved with some of the refereeing decisions, but that's about all that I can report to you at the moment with regards to what's been said down here.
Okay, see if you can find an umbrella though, Molly. It's a brilliant position that you've got down there. There's the sort of position, the sort of vantage point that a Wrexham fan would pay thousands to have, sat up behind Phil Parkinson in the dugout for us. More to come from Molly and from Barry Horn, the former Wales captain, with us here at the racecourse this evening. But let's run you through everything else that's been going on, and the thing that is pertinent to the National League title race. First of all, Notts County keeping up their hopes of beating Wrexham to the title earlier on and spoiling the party this evening. 5-2 winners at bottom side Maidstone. In the FA Cup, meanwhile, Riyad Mahrez with a hat-trick to send Manchester City into the final. 3-0 winners over Sheffield United at Wembley earlier on, and they'll play the winners of tomorrow's second semi between Manchester United and Brighton. The Premier League, Leicester move out of the bottom three with a 2-1 win over Wolves. Everton are into the relegation places on goal difference after a goalless draw at Palace. Forest just 1 point off the bottom after Mo Salah scored the winner for Liverpool in a 5-goal thriller at Anfield. Finished 3-2 with Nico Williams scoring for Forest against his former side, and Leeds are a point off the relegation places after a lunchtime 2-1 defeat at Fulham, and another Welsh international, Harry Wilson, scoring there for Fulham. Douglas Luiz, meanwhile, getting a late equaliser for Aston Villa against Brentford. In terms of the Welsh clubs, Cardiff City drawing 1-1 at home to Stoke today. The Bluebirds went behind, but their informed striker Sorry Kaba brought them level. He did though miss a second half penalty which would have given them all 3 points, but Cardiff are 3 clear of Reading, who lost at Coventry to stay in the bottom 3. Let's hear from the Bluebirds boss, Sabri Lamouchi.
It's a fair point, and I'm happy with the point. A few weeks ago we lost a lot of points and we didn't deserve. Swansea, Sunderland probably, and you know, sometimes when you can win, don't lose the game. So game after game, 1 point is 1 point, and of course with the scenario, I'm not happy with the first goal after the penalty. This is football, happen, but Kaba scored a lot of goals, he will score again. The next penalty will be for him for sure, but everybody was a little bit down in the dressing room, because with 2 more points was probably down, and now we are still fighting, and we have 1 more game on Thursday night.
Yeah, they're away to Rotherham on Thursday night, that rearranged match, which you'll be able to catch live on Radio Wales FM and DAB in the southeast. Rotherham on Thursday, then it's Huddersfield a week tomorrow, the return of Neil Warnock to South Wales and the Cardiff City Stadium, and Cardiff finished the season away to Burnley, of course, who've been promoted to the Premier League already, but suffered a shock loss today at Queen's Park Rangers, or against Queen's Park Rangers. Swansea City, meanwhile, coming away from Carrow Road with an impressive 3-0 win over Norwich. They were 2-0 up at half-time with goals from Latibodier and Cullen. Norwich went down to 10 men just before half-time, before Ncham added a third for Swansea in the second half, who are now just 3 points off of the playoffs with 2 games to go. So, is there an unlikely late playoff push for Russell Martin and his team?
Yeah, it was a beautiful day for us. Really, really brilliant. we were great 11v11. We were really Norwich started the game well. First 15 minutes we weren't quite as clean as we should have been. I think there was a bit of tension, a bit of nerves in the players, which surprised me a little bit because it hasn't been that for a while. But we're playing against a good team, a really brilliant place to play, a big crowd, so many young players on the pitch, and once they settled down I thought we were brilliant.
So 2 more games to try and squeeze into the top 6. Can they do it? You'll find out here on BBC Radio Wales. We'll have live commentary of both of those. Hull away and West Brom at home left for the Swans. Into League 2, Newport County, they won 3-1 away at Doncaster Rovers. County were 1 down actually going into half time, but then terrific second half. 3 goals in that second 45 minutes, getting 3 points for the visitors to bounce back from their midweek defeat at home. And dramatic day as well in the Cymru Premier on the final day, ending with Flint Town being relegated after losing at Pontypridd, and Niall Flint scoring in injury time for Aberystwyth to seal a 3-2 victory over Carnarvon to move out of the bottom 2 on the final day. So a last few second reprieve for Aberystwyth, who are one of the founder members of the League of Wales and who've looked for quite some time in threat of dropping out of the top flight for the first time. Let's reflect on the other big sporting event, one of the other big sporting events going on in Wales today, because there are a lot of them. Judgment Day at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, returning for the first time since 2019. There were just over 41,000 people there in Cardiff for the 2 regional rugby derbies. We started with the Dragons, ending their 10-game losing run with a record league win over Scarlets. 31-14 was the size of their victory. And then Cardiff beat Ospreys by 38 points to 21 to win the Welsh Shield and qualify for next season's Champions Cup. Both games watched by Phil Steele.
Cardiff secured the URC Welsh Shield and a Champions Cup place with a 24-point first half salvo, which caused a rapid unplanned disassembly to the Ospreys game plan, and they never recovered. Thomas Young, Max Llewellyn and Mason Grady all crossed in the first 40, and when Young bagged the bonus try early in the second half, it was all over. Ospreys did score 3 tries, all by front rowers, Sam Parry, Gareth Thomas and Dowie Lake, which Gareth Anscombe improved, but Cardiff finished with a flourish as Rhys Carré squirreled over for Rhys Priestham to convert as part of a 13-point match haul for him. Ospreys 21, Cardiff 38.
Phil Still there in Cardiff, and we'll be live in Grenoble in France tomorrow afternoon from 3. You can join Chris Wathen and the team for Wales' next Women's Six Nations match, the penultimate game of this year's tournament, tomorrow afternoon as they look to bounce back from that heavy defeat to England last weekend. Let's catch up on the cricket. Glamorgan facing Durham at Sophia Gardens in Cardiff today, day 3 of that championship match, and it was watched by Nick Webb.
Glamorgan 153 for 5 in reply to Durham's 471 for 9 declared, and Glamorgan are getting a helping hand from the weather in their efforts to save this match. But before the rain, it was Ben Rain in control for Durham, a fine 3-wicket spell from the seamer, reducing them to 89 for 5, including David Lloyd for 31 and Marnus Labuschagne for just 17 in his first knock of the Glamorgan season. Kieran Carlson saw a ball from Bryden Carr's roll against the stumps before he'd scored, but survived to reach 46 not out, with Chris Cook 32 not out. Just 14 balls were bowled after tea, and Glamorgan should save this game, but they have been outplayed by Durham. Glamorgan 153 for 5, that's 318 runs behind.
And don't forget, later on, a huge world title fight for Joe Cordina. He's got Shavkat Rakhmonov at the Most Points Arena in Cardiff. He's the challenger this time after having his title removed from him following an injury, and the Welsh boxer, well, he says he still feels like a champion.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a world champion. I haven't lost my title in the ring. I just got to go up there and get my title back. Obviously I got stripped. For me it was wrongly stripped, but yeah, it is what it is. I made peace with that. Now Eddie, Matchroom and DAZN, they got it back in Cardiff for me. Now I got to grab the opportunity with both hands.
Big night for Joe Cordina. It's a big night, a huge night for Wrexham. They are looking for a hero in this second half after an awful start for the home team, but then a reprieve quickly after. Let's recap what's happened so far here.
Ball over the top of the Wrexham defence. Oh, hang on! It's chipped in, and Wrexham are behind in the first 15 seconds almost. Barnett, look, good cross into the middle. It's an equaliser! Elliot Lee!
This is BBC Radio Wales Sport with Ian Hunt.
Yeah, that is the story of the game so far as Wrexham come back out for the second half. Boreham would have been out for the last minute or so. What a 45 minutes we have got in front of us now. It is Wrexham 1, Boreham Wood 1. They are not up yet. Will they be within an hour's time? Time to find out. It is time for the second half. You are with BBC Radio Wales and BBC Sounds. Hold on tight. Here's Barry Horn and Rob Phillips for the second half.
Well, nobody said it would be easy, and of course this is Hollywood drama, so that we could have an early twist. We've had an early twist, it could be a late twist to come as well. But as Barry Horn, former Wales and Wrexham captain, was saying, he's seen so often this season Wrexham being held at half-time and then they power on after the break. Their strength of their squad comes through. If they power on tonight, they may well end that 15-year wait for a Football League place. It's Wrexham playing from right to left. Red shirts, white shorts, no changes at half-time. Boreham Wood all in sky blue. We've got 4 players lined up to the left of the centre circle. They all charge forward. The ball goes back to Will Evans, the big unit at the back. Hammers it out for a throw-in on the far side. Didn't hit a Boreham Wood player. So Wrexham have Foster in goal, O'Connell, Tozer and O'Connor, the 3 centre-backs. Barnett, who set up the goal. Mendy, the former Boreham Wood player. They're the wing-backs. Jones and Cannon in midfield. Elliot Lee, who scored the Wrexham equaliser on 15 minutes. And up front, Paul Mullin and Sam Dolby. And Boreham Wood have Nathan Ashmore in goal. Across the back, Femi Ilisandri, Chris Bush, Will Evans and David Agbontahoma. Then George Bent is in front of them. Sorry, Sousa's on that far side as well. Enrico Sousa, he's on their left-hand side. Then it's Jack Payne and Zach Brunt in front of George Broadbent, with Leon Love, the goal scorer, and Tyrone Marsh up top. And the referee, who so far only booked 1 player, is Scott Jackson, who actually refereed Wrexham's first game of the season here at the racecourse. A 2-1 win over Eastleigh. It's 1-1. Remember, Wrexham need 3 points tonight to guarantee the National League title, to see off Notts County, who won 5-2 at Maidstone earlier. But of course they have the fallback, the safety game of Torquay away.
It's interesting actually, Rob, maybe not for now, but let's get this free kick out of the way. They're gonna punt this into Wrexham's box and just inside Wrexham's half.
Zach Brunt wearing 20. He was looking for Big Will Evans, who was out jump, but Broadbent picks up the ball, fires it out to that left hand side. Bush has it, low cross into the Wrexham box, blocked by O'Connell, and then he turns and he trots out of his penalty area and then fires the ball downfield. Mullen was caught, was on the deck for a while.
Misunderstanding there between Jones. Jones picks up the loose ball, knocks into the path of Mullen, but they both leave it for each other, and Boreham would have made a bright start to the second half.
Well, they'd score within a minute of the start of the first half. Mullen is in behind the defence here. Ball is going out to that corner flag. Actually, it's Dolby. He was trying to pin his man down there, but he's slid up that touchline, the left touchline. Poor clearance though by Bush. Left footed, comes to his former teammate Mendy. Mendy out to Elliot Lee on this left hand side, edge of the penalty area, now just inside it. There's it back for James Jones. Mullin has pulled deep. Mullin helps it around to Mendy. Mendy onto his left foot. tries again. Could have crossed first time. Still held up though. Sousa sticking to his man. Now Mendy crosses beyond the far post. It's headed back from whence it came by Bush. And then it's cleared out for a Wrexham
That's
throw.
better from Mendy. Got in behind, almost to the dead ball line, and a very similar cross to Barnett, which led to the goal. Should have been somebody attacking that. Good play from Mendy. Mendy started the game well, but then faded as the half went on. So let's hope he can keep that going now. Good play.
Long throw coming into the box. O'Connor header, always going over from about 10 yards. Tom O'Connor.
So what I thought, thinking about half time, was how was Phil Parkinson going to approach this now? Because the points neither here nor there for Wrexham. It doesn't make a point or no points tonight. Next Saturday is exactly the same. So is he at some point going to go for it, or would he feel that a defeat might be too damaging at this stage of the season?
Well, they would have to win next week.
They've got to win next week. If they don't win tonight, draw or lose, nothing changes because of the goal difference.
No, they still have to.
They've still got to win next week. So
they still have to win, yeah, because
goal difference. We're not going to make up the goal difference.
It is in Notts County's favour.
Yeah. So it's almost like a free hit for him. If we're struggling to break them down, and 20-25 minutes to go, let's throw the heavy duty artillery on. Let's get all the forwards on, all the attacking players. Take a chance.
The point I'm trying to make is that even a draw next week wouldn't be enough.
No, that's my point. Whatever happens,
oh, we're agreed then.
Whatever happens, if Wrexham don't win tonight, draw or
they
lose,
have to win next
they've
week.
got to win next week. It doesn't matter if they lose or draw. Draw and loss is the same.
Bush, long throw into the Wrexham penalty area. Dolby was up then. It's coming back out of Bush, slides it square to Brunt. Brunt clips it into the box. Foster was right just inside his 6-yard box. Collects and then does like a touchline throw. Looking for Barnett, but it's intercepted by Broadbent. And tried to get Marsh away down the left side. O'Connell has been dutiful in his defensive work. Does look a cut above, doesn't he, O'Connell at the back? Looks like he's got pedigree. And Chris Bush, we're in 25, is going to take another long throw. We've got two good long throw experts on the pitch today.
The two centre-backs are coming up and they're in no rush to get into that penalty area.
Bush with a long throw into the box. This time, two Wrexham players get it away. Dolby's very handy because he's tall defensively. And then Bush, is that out for a corner? No, the referee says it's a throw-in.
But a long way from having control of this game, Wrexham.
You're right.
At the minute, Boreham Wood are controlling the pace of the game. The game's being played more in Wrexham's half than Boreham Wood's.
That's a heck of a throw from Bush that time, but the header is away, and Elliot Lee clears up to Mullin on halfway.
That's obstruction.
That
is obstruction. The referee's missed it.
These days that doesn't matter, does it? They don't seem to worry about it, like shirt pulling. It was Broadbent doing a very good defensive job, you'd have to say. Tozer now brings the ball out for Wrexham. Jones, first time touch back to O'Connell. O'Connell is over halfway. Front of the far stand. James Jones gets involved. Darting across there to that right hand side. Now it's going back to Tozer, just inside his own half. Approaches the centre circle. Patient build-up by Wrexham to the goal scorer Lee on this near side, the left. Mullin has made a run across the face of the defence. Good turn on this near side. Mullin shoots! Oh, it's a wonderful goal from the man who may just have delivered Wrexham promotion. Paul Mullin, he's hardly had a kick. And this time he cuts in from the left. He curls in a right-footed shot inside the far netting. Paul Mullin, take a bow, as so often this season. Wrexham are on the brink thanks to his 46th goal of the season. It's Wrexham 2, Boreham Wood 1.
Well, that's what having Paul Mullin in your team does for you. That's what having any top goal scorer in form in your team does for you. I've got the best seats in the house because as Mullin struck that, I am looking straight down the line of the ball, and it's the instant, even before he's kicked it, never mind the moment, the instant he's left his foot, the instant he brings his right foot back, you know where that's going. A goal of completely of his own making, definition of a solo goal. Although I would say Mendy deserves some credit. His run took one of the defenders completely out of the game, which gave Mullen that space to drift into. But the finish, exquisite. Goalkeeper's positioning might have been a little bit suspect, but let's not worry about that. And you know, if that ends up being the winner tonight, there could be no more deserving scorer after the season he's had.
He's led all the way. Super Paul Mullin, they're singing now. He deserves every accolade he gets.
Now Wrexham going to now liven up. Are they going to show some of the confidence and swagger of champions? They haven't shown it so far.
Yeah, I said it before, they sent blood. Barnett drifts past Ilasandi. Oh, just a strong touch as the last second of that move. Let's go down to Molly Stevens. How was that goal greeted, Molly?
Absolutely superb. I mean, you know up there, Rob, the sound in this racecourse ground has been absolutely sublime, but when that goal went in, it transformed completely. If you could see what I can see right in front of me now, the fans are up on their feet, they're clapping, they are making sure these players know they are right behind them and want to see them promoted. Phil Parkinson, the first thing he did, as for the Elliott Lee goal, ran straight down to the touchline to immediately celebrate, raw emotion there, but then all of a sudden gets himself back in check, back onto the steps, game on, back to it, 2-1 Wrexham, and what a game. The tempo is starting to hot up now, Rob.
Yeah, Wrexham have got the scent of more goals in their veins, and when this happens, they tend to take you apart. Mullen slides in Dolby. James Jones is rushing up ahead. Jones, tight angle blocked, but they really got the momentum now, Barry. It's astonishing what a goal does.
That goal has changed everything, and I questioned immediately after the goal whether Wrexham could puff the chest out, put the shoulders back and start strutting, you know, their stuff a little bit, and they have done that. Can they now capitalise on this, capitalise on the crowd? Can they get a third goal? Can they go take a massive step to putting the game to bed? Because at the minute, if it's not done, they are on top, they're starting to play better. Can they get the third goal?
Tozer, long throw into the 6-yard box. Evans helps it out to the edge of the box, headed back in by Cannon. A lofted clearance comes to Tozer. Tozer heads it forward, has to twist his head around to get that. Shot for handball, breaks for O'Connor, the defender, weaving his way into the penalty box, still not cleared, and Dolby trying to set up Mullin, but overhit the cross.
There was a handball in there. There was a clear handball in there, and the referee didn't indicate he was playing advantage, he's just missed it. Okay, so Wrexham now, they need to win this ball back quickly and get on the front foot again, keep this crowd on their feet, keep this atmosphere.
A renowned second half team, Wrexham. They just wear you down. And remember, if they beat Boreham Wood tonight, they will have beaten every team in the National League this season. As Lee is set forward down this left side by Mullin, the near side. Caught after the ball had gone, but Mendy retains possession. Cannon for Wrexham stops. That's how confident they are at the moment. Mullin thought about shooting from 25 yards. He could do it if he wanted to. He does what he wants, Paul Mullin. He's on the ball now. Bit far out though, 30 yards from goal. Sees the pass on to Lee. Lee sidles towards the penalty area. Plays a little one to him, Mendy. Mendy just loses control of the ball at the vital moment. Then Love goes sliding in with O'Connor. They both fall to the deck, and O'Connor wins the free kick.
There was a defender that nearly played Mendy in there. Mullin's little ball through the defence. The defender got a toe to it, and Mendy nearly got on the end of it.
This is Cannon again, heading towards the Boreham Wood penalty area. Cannon in behind for Dolby. Is that a penalty? Oh, it's an offside flag. He was definitely brought down, but he must have been just offside before the ball was played to him.
You know what, Rob? I don't think he was. I think it was a clean tackle. I think it was a terrific tackle. Lovely play again, though. I was about to say Cannon's been quiet tonight, but he's coming into the game now a little bit, and he's starting to get on the ball just outside the penalty area. And that was another lovely little 1-2, which Wrexham have tried 4 or 5 times, and it's nearly come off. Again, it nearly came off from Cannon. I think you're right. I think he's probably just gone a little bit too early and was offside.
For the first time this season, in this amazing tussle for the top spot, Wrexham have an unassailable lead at the top. There's nothing Notts County can do about it at the moment, unless Boreham Wood, one of the lowest scorers in the league, can get a goal back and deny Wrexham victory. It's that close. It's tantalisingly that close. The end of a 15-year exile from the Football League.
Well, the thing, yes, there is that, but it's the end of a phenomenal battle between 2 terrific non-league teams as well. Let's not forget that. It's not just about Wrexham, it's about, you know, the 2 teams, Notts County and Wrexham, have been guaranteed first and second place about 5 weeks ago. Yeah. That's how, you know, it was just down to them 2 about 5 or 6 games ago, I think.
It's been a title race for the ages, you have to say. As the 2 Wrexham players foul of Chris Bush, who was actually fouled the second time, but he came off better. He's a powerful unit, is Chris Bush, even though he's wearing yellow boots. What do you think of those, Barry Hall?
The same thing as I think about Will Evans' orange boots.
Okay. I can tell you not.
Who's down? Is that James Jones? Who is it that's down? It's Barnett. He slipped. He's another player he slipped as he was closing Bush down, and as he slipped, he just went bang straight into the centre back.
O'Connell down, yeah.
And it's O'Connell, is it?
Yeah,
and he's come off the worst, but he's up on his feet. He's running. He's okay.
I can only tell it's him because I can see his bandage on his right hand. You know those bandages I've been talking about?
They are of some use then, Rob.
Well, you can tell him he's showing a weakness. I won't. I'll ring him and tell him. And I'll reverse the charges. That's me all over. An hour gone. An hour into what could be a special night here at the racecourse and on BBC Radio Wales. We're here until 8:45 on the home of Welsh football, and of course via sound. So wherever you're listening in the world, and who knows, watching in the world, because this is Wrexham. Will Evans was strong then in the challenge.
Yeah, Mullen disappointing there. He's anticipating the free kick. He's anticipating the foul, and Will Evans is just tight to him. He didn't foul him. Mullen should have kept possession for Wrexham there.
James Jones just helps the ball out for a throw in there. I think he felt there was a bit of pressure building, so he took it.
So you just sense now that even the crowd is still fantastic, but you just sense that boost, that lift that Wrexham got from the goal, it's just wearing off a little bit, and Boreham Wood are gradually coming back into the game themselves,
trying to play their way back into it. Brunt is struggling for the ball, but Jones was stronger then, and Lee helps it away. Good ball forward to Mullin, this time marauding down that right hand side. Dalby makes his way into the penalty area. Mullin plays it into Dalby. Had to be a near eye of the needle pass. Yeah, it was cut out by Bush. Oh, then O'Connor brings down a Love. I wonder whether he'll get booked for that. No, says the referee.
That was a poor decision from Mullin actually, because there's only Dalby in the penalty area. There was 5 blue shirts strung out across the area that Mullin would have had to get the ball through. Disappointing again how slowly Wrexham are to join Mullin there. As I say, there was only Dalby within 15-20 metres of the penalty spot.
Aspor hits the free kick to the left side of the Wrexham penalty area. It's pumped away up to halfway. Evans shrugs off Mullin to head it into the Wrexham half. Agbontahoma gets a touch, and Love and Mendy fly in together. No Quartarasto given in this game, too much at stake for both sides. Oh, Elliot Lee was caught late then. Good tackle by Jack Payne on halfway though. Tozer slides in, stumbles. Ball breaks to Alasami on that left hand side. Payne, who's gets them passing, doesn't he? Payne and Broadbent get them passing.
Yeah, and Payne let Wrexham off there actually, because he if he'd been a little bit braver, he's gone into a sliding tackle with Tozer. It was his ball. He didn't need to go to ground. He could have got to that ball before Tozer. He just had half an eye on the centre back and decided didn't fancy a challenge from him.
Souza down the line to Brunt. Brunt cuts in from the right hand side. Souza's in behind the defence. Good ball by Brunt. Can he cross? He can! Foster collects at the second attempt. Hasn't had a lot to do, Ben Foster, but Luke Garrard gives his players a round of applause from the touchline.
Yeah, similar position to where Wrexham's goal came from. A similar cross actually, only on this occasion there was nobody arriving to put it past Foster and he was able to gather it. Mullin dragged Evans out of position then. Anna's won the throw-in and Will Evans is not happy with that. And it's going to be a Wrexham throw, which Ben Tozer's going to have to trot to right near the corner flag on that right hand side. It's no more than a yard or so from the corner flag, although Ben Tozer's tried to go back about 10 yards to give himself a better angle. Once again a towel has appeared, and Tozer, this is what he does, he leans against the advertising hoarding because not too many steps he can get in. Then he takes 3 steps and he still gets it into the 6-yard box. It's flicked on at the near post by James Jones, and Ashmore clears long having collected, and Marsh is after this. Tyrone Marsh collects it before it goes out for a throw-in. 2 blue shirts up with him. Everyone went
Souza is with him.
Yeah, that was a waste from Wrexham, that throw-in. Everybody's gone to the near post, so when the flick came into a really dangerous area on the back post, there was nobody there.
Boreham would still have plenty to play for because in the live table they're in 7th position, and that would mean an away quarter-final. They've still got 2 games to go though. Wrexham have just got Torquay, so they won't give up on this because a point could still maintain their hopes of having a home quarter-final by finishing 5th. Lee picks up a header, chopped down by Evans. Disagrees with the decision again. You won't change it, Will. Scott Jackson, the referee, stands firm. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Wrexham, who trailed after a minute to Lee and Love, are back in front, 2-1. Elliot Lee, and another brilliant goal from Paul Mullin. Super Paul Mullin, they call him here, and why wouldn't they? Free kick, which Jacob Mendy takes short to Lee, drifting left. 4 red shirts in the middle. Mullin comes out. Mendy keeps up the
That's so disappointing. That, I mean, Mendy in acres of space in a fantastic position. It's an easy ball. It's an easy ball for either Elliot Lee to hit or I think it was it Cannon that mishit that pass. It was in acres of space, an easy pass to put him behind the defence in the penalty area.
Racecourse crowd are still believing. The Hollywood Stars in the top tier of the far stand still wearing their red and white shirts. There's a sub in the offing for Boreham. Will go down to Molly Stevens in a moment as Wrexham regain possession in their own half. Jones forward to Dalby. Dalby's done a lot of unselfish running tonight. Shows it, then gets it back from Cannon. Cannon sends Barnett down the right hand side. Mullin comes in for that one. Should be dealt with by Souza. Heads it off for a corner.
Again, though, it's only Mullin in the penalty area. If Mendy gets on his bike and gets in there, he gets onto that cross at the far post.
Wrexham corner. We'll hear about the substitution in a moment. I don't think Boreham are going to change while there's a corner happening. It's a Wrexham corner down the left hand side. Lee takes it short, gets it back. Souza was straight in there though. He read that little move between Cannon and Lee. Gets it up to Bush. Bush is tackled though by Cannon. Mendy comes away with it, tries to square it to Mullin. Poor ball by Mendy.
Poor
Wonder
play.
whether there might be a Wrexham substitution not before long. Sousa holds it up for Agbon Toma. There's a red smoke flare in the car park of the Turf Hotel. Nowhere near the pitch, thank goodness. There'll be some party in the Turf if it stays like this. 2-1. Invites only, I'm sure. Agbon, good ball, 4-1 levels, picked up a bit of space, tries to play it into Marsh. Oh, Marsh wins it, shoots, takes a big deflection out of the Wrexham penalty area, helped away by Cannon. Agbon to Homer, lays it down for Bush, who takes over from Payne into the penalty area. Marsh was holding then, headed out again. Mendy clears it away only as far as Agbon Toma. Wrexham are being pinned back at the moment.
Well, they're playing with anything but swagger and poise at the moment. They're panicking. O'Connor getting caught on the ball. Mendy just lashing that nowhere with no, just giving it straight back to Boreham Wood.
Evans chips it down the inside right channel, looking for Marsh. Should be cleared away by O'Connor. It is. Mullin's shoot was being held then. Referee saw it. There's a substitution, Molly Stevens. What's happening?
There is indeed. That may well have been Tyrone Marsh's last kick of the game. He will be coming off the field, and it will be Denon Lewis who replaces him. So Luke Garrard clearly feeling that Boreham would need a bit more strength up front to capitalise on some attacking, Rob, before there's another goal maybe in 69th minute. 2-1 it is at the moment, just the one substitution right now, and Phil Parkinson doesn't look to be making any himself right now.
Thank you, Molly Stevens. She's right at the heart of the action as we hit the 70th minute. She's down on the touchline.
The like for like swap. Tyrone Marsh not really having any impact on the game, particularly Dunlop, definitely the more threatening of the two strikers. So Lewis has come on to just straightforward swap. Two strikers, Dunlop and Lewis.
Free kick aiming for Dalby just inside the Boreham Wood penalty area. Cannon picks up the ball, but not a Cannon shot that time. Just drifts wide of Ashmore's right hand post, and it's 2-1, and we're into the last 20 minutes, Barry Horn.
Yeah, Wrexham for 10 minutes after that second goal went in looked like champions, and then Boreham Wood have resisted that boost, that little surge in confidence, and just as it was in the first half, really, they've worked their way into the game, and the game's really scrappy at the moment, and that that probably suits Boreham Wood. There's a lot of really bad mistakes, poor passes, poor decisions, poor touches.
Mullin here has got away. He's only got Evans to beat. He shoots left footed. Of course he scores! And Wrexham are so close to the Football League. Mullin has scored his second. This time a left-footed drive. And the party can soon start here at the racecourse. It's Wrexham 3, Boreham Wood 1.
And just as I was talking about the game being scrappy, being lots of mistakes, Boreham Wood make a mistake, a slice pass, a poor touch, and Mullin's one-on-one with the defender. And this is the beauty of Paul Mullin. Defenders have got no chance of reading what he's trying to do, because he can go right, he can go left. The defender showed him to his left, thinking, yeah, go on, go to your left, because I know you're right-footed. And Mullin's gone, yeah, okay, thanks very much. He's taken it to the left, a little touch. He's not beaten this man. He's just made a yard for himself to get a shot up. And something else that he does absolutely brilliantly, he generates so much power in his shots with little backlift, and when it doesn't look like he's going to be able to generate that much power, and he smashes it across the goalkeeper. I'm not sure a better goalkeeper might have been disappointed to have been beaten from there, but the pace, and it's past him and into the side netting. Mullin, well, the script writers are up there now, aren't they? Mullin hat-trick to take Wrexham up. It's got to be on the cards. Hope Phil Parkinson doesn't take him off tonight.
Well, he's got 4 hat-tricks as the ball is floated into the Wrexham 6-yard box. Ben Foster, a brutal spectator,
collects it.
I know for the fact that Phil Parkinson has taken him off on 2 goals.
He has, yeah.
I can't see that happening tonight.
No, I can't either. That's his 47th goal of the season, his 38th in the National League. And remember, the year he went up with Cambridge United from League 2, he was the Golden Boot in League 2. So he's done it at that higher level, and how he's delivered for Wrexham since his big signing, the first sign really of new money at Wrexham, tempting a player who could have been playing in League 1 2 years ago because he got Cambridge promoted.
Well, I was talking to a couple of fans before the game, and they were talking about the money and everything else. I said, "Oh, here we go." And I said, "Well, you can say what you like, but the money's there, and whatever they paid for Paul Mullin, whatever Paul Mullin's cost them, he's more than they paid.
He's worth his weight in gold.
If the aim is to get back into the Football League, and you've got a certain amount of money to spend, they've spent it well, because he's buying them. I'm not saying almost single-handedly, but clearly his goals have been a major contributor to the success this season.
10,000.
It was always going to be over 10,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10,162. I'm pretty certain that's exactly the crowd that was here for Yeovil on Tuesday. This time, 219 fans from Boreham Wood.
I think, Paul, Rob, you'll have to help me out with this one. What was Gary Bennett's best ever goal scoring season?
Well, I can give you the Wrexham best ever goal scoring. It was Tommy Bamford.
Tommy Bamford, yeah, he's a few off that, I know.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's got 38 league goals at the moment. Tommy Bamford scored 44.
Yeah, I knew he was way off that, but I think he's close to Gary Bennett. Either total goals scored, if not the league goals, I'm not sure.
If the Wi-Fi was better, I'd look it up for you, but I'm just getting those annoying circles at the moment when I try and check stuff like that. I'm sure Benno is listening or watching. Agbontahoma tries to charge forward for Boreham Wood, but Elliot Lee, the opening goal.
Gary Bennett, 47.
There we are. Well done.
In all competitions, Tommy Bamford, 50.
So I've got 51 for Tommy Bamford, and this is 47 in all competitions for Paul Mullin, 38 in the league. Evans charges forward. Denan Lewis, who, if you're watching on TV, you might recognise him because he was on Love Island a few years ago. Denan Lewis, what a claim to fame. It's going to be another substitution in the offing for Boreham Wood. Free kick. Who's the sub, Molly?
The sub coming on, Rob, is Josh Rees. Where's number 7 in the midfield? Josh Rees. And it appears... Oh, hang on a minute. John Mulligan hasn't put the numbers up on his board, but coming off for him is Jack Payne, who was on a yellow card from that first half. I mean, I don't know if you can hear me, Rob, but it's extremely loud down here now, and as I said earlier, I'm getting absolutely soaked with a floodlight staring into my face. But what I will tell you is when that Paul Mullin goal went in, you should have seen the embrace between Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. The first thing they did was look at each other and give each other a massive hug. Phenomenal. Right, I'll leave it to you now to commentate on this Boreham Wood free
Cross
kick.
into the box, headed back across by Will Evans into the Wrexham box that was, but what a moment that would have been. I'm sure that was captured on TV when Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds looked into each other's eyes and thought, this is it, it's all worthwhile now. It has been an unbelievable story. Such a story you probably wouldn't write in Hollywood, but sometimes dreams come true even in the movie capital of the world, and it's happening here, Barry Hall. It's happening here.
Yeah, it's almost the game's just sort of just going on in the background at the moment, isn't it? I think there's more goals in this for Wrexham.
And it may be a hat-trick for Mullin. Here he is on the ball. He tried to feed Dalby. Actually, he apologises for James Jones, who's made a run to be in the clear in the centre of the penalty area.
And the pass to Dalby wasn't actually a difficult one. Mullin should have done better with whichever pass he chose. He should have done better with.
What a night to be a Wrexham fan. 3-1. Corner comes in. Oh, Ashmore missed it entirely. Don't know what he was doing then.
Nearly an own goal. I think Unluck got a touch to it, took it away from the keeper, who was totally committed himself, nowhere near the ball.
He's their only keeper in the squad as well. You don't see that very often. I know there's only 5 subs in the National League, but
well, funnily enough, they haven't got another keeper.
No, not even on their team
listed in the squad in the programme.
Corner coming in from the right-hand side then. Swoop, left-footed. Look at the Mullin. He got there beyond the far post, but it could only launch it into the side netting. Just below a camera, and there'll be plenty of those on the pitch at the end, I'm sure. And there's another substitution for Boreham Wood. Molly Stevens.
Yeah, well, it looks like Luke Garrard is starting to really use all enforcements now. It's Liam Glavu coming off, who wears the number 9 shirt for Boreham Wood, and it's Danny Newton who's going to be making his way onto the pitch.
That's a bit disappointing from Boreham Wood. You know, in a game where the point is going to be of help to them. The point's no good to Wrexham, but a point is of use to them. He's taken off Unlove, who I think was their probably most dangerous player. It's not really changed anything. It's just another like for like.
Mullin almost got through again. He had Will Evans on toast for that goal, didn't he? He sent him one way, then the other, and then said, "Okay, put me on my left foot." And he's
just offside.
He's just offside.
They've done that well tonight, Boreham Wood.
Brilliant runs, Mullin, doesn't he?
Yes, brilliant. But I'm giving credit to you can see why Boreham Wood haven't let many goals in prior to this evening. They've defended, by and large, they've defended really well. That was a great line, high line, and it's easy to overlook the fact that they've been undone by 2 pieces of individual brilliance. They've not been done in open play where they've not been, you can't see them not been organised. It was just, in fact, it was a mistake in midfield, the third one, wasn't it? But then individual brilliance, similarly with the second one, individual brilliance, which you can't really know. The second one in particular, I'm not sure we could do too much about that.
Ashmore clears long. Double bounce off the back then to Denon Lewis. Boreham would come again, but they may have the best defence in the National League, but only before today, only Halifax, Maidenhead and the bottom 3 had scored less goals than them. Which probably tells their tale, but they will be formidable opposition in playoffs, no doubt about that. At the moment they'll be away to Barnet, but they've still got 2 games left to go.
Yeah, they'd have to win both of them, which they're capable of doing. And Barnet would have to lose for them to make any sort of make any progress.
Yeah.
It's all about getting it to 4th or 5th for them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. He should be able to hold off Southend, but Wrexham are 4 points clear with 1 game and 9 minutes left to go of their season. And what a season it's been, as the long throw into the Wrexham penalty area is half cleared, not fully. Mendy lets it drift past him, and Ben Foster, wow, he's 40 now, Ben Foster. He thought he'd seen it all. Then he comes here, saves an injury time penalty in the most important clash of the season at home to Notts County. His GoPro he's got with him as well, so he's got it all on tape. And he's going to be part of an enormous National League promotion story, Barry Horn.
Yeah, and I've got to be completely honest with you, I wasn't sure that he would play ahead of Mark Howard when he signed. But Phil Parkinson threw him straight in. His first game, didn't have a great deal to do, but looked massively at home. He looked confident. He just looked better on the ball and with the ball in his hands than anyone else in this division. And then of course that penalty save, which absolutely massive, and what a story. Just that one night.
Absolutely.
What a story. Then the Ben Foster story, what a story. Then Wrexham's season, what a story. It's the struggle between Notts County and Wrexham. It's amazing. It's been amazing. It's been a fantastic season.
It's been a privilege to watch. It's still not over yet. They're going to go to Torquay next week as Elliot Lee chips the ball into the penalty area, and it's headed goalwards by Sam Dalby, but not much juice behind it. Ashmore clears long. Look at Sousa, who's now playing up front. Barnett, who created the first goal. That was huge, that first goal, to strike back before things got really uncomfortable and nervy.
Take the Mullen goals out, that running across from Barnett was the highlight of the game.
Yeah, really good point.
I think everybody's just waiting for the final whistle.
They are now, yeah.
Just get the impression that a lot of the fans are sort of not really watching the game. They're turning around to see the friends behind them. The cop, well, I call it the cop, it's not the cop, is it? The university end, all on their feet, all singing.
They're probably chatting like we are about highlights of the season, because it's been that sort of season. And if you missed anything, I'm sure there's going to be a documentary series near you in the summer featuring Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. O'Connor still on his game, though, intercepted there, sent Dalby away. He's got Mullen up ahead, can't find him because Evans intervened.
He needed
his head to it.
Yeah, once again the ball would back four in good positions, and Dalby trying to feed it through them. No, it's not going to happen. He's got to go. He's just got to dink that ball over the top. Mullen has made a great run. The space was in behind. Dalby just didn't quite have the technique to lift that ball in behind the two centre backs.
Ben Tozer gets a standing ovation as he goes to take this right-sided corner, just level with the Boreham Wood penalty area as we go into the last 5 minutes of an historic night here at the racecourse. Huge throw by Tozer, flicked on by Dalby.
It's a corner.
Oh, it's a corner. Yeah. It's going to be a corner.
Came off the defender, yeah.
Remember, Wrexham 15 years ago were relegated at Hereford on April the 22nd. Yes, exactly 15 years ago. Gavin Ward, Sean Pedgick, Conor Murta, Levi Mackin, the Williams brothers, Neil Roberts, who I've seen here earlier, all part of that team that went out to the league 15 years ago. Never did they think it would take this long to be back in, but they are within touching distance of League Two now. 3-1 they lead here on BBC Radio Wales.
I'm just thinking. Let's see this corner.
Let's see the corner first. It's curled into the near post. Bush heads it out to this near side, the Wrexham left.
I'm not putting a damper on things, but we'll have a party and we'll enjoy the success. And then everyone realises, we've got to go and start doing it all again now.
There's a substitute for Wrexham, Molly Stevens.
It's Ollie Palmer. Ollie Palmer is about to come onto the pitch. We are unsure for who at the moment, but Phil Parkinson's actually stopping the substitution as we speak. So just a moment, Ollie Palmer will not be coming onto the pitch as it stands.
No,
I'll let you know if that changes, but obviously there's a throw-in right now by Ben Tozer, so I'll let you commentate on that for now, Rob, and let you know any updates.
They're just waiting. It's a long throw, maybe giving Dalby one last chance. Headed out though, it's going to be picked up.
He's played his part this season, Ollie Palmer. He's more than played his part. So yeah, it's a nice touch to bring him on and let him be on the pitch when it happens.
Dare he take Mullen off on a hat-trick?
Well, I would not, because that is, that's meant to happen. He could take anybody off. He could take one of the back three off. He could take any one of the strikers off. It doesn't matter. The game's done.
Now, here we go then. 2 words spoken by the fourth official. as the crowd all around us are on their feet. They just cannot wait for the final whistle. They know how special this is. April the 22nd, I talked about the relegation 45 years ago. Wrexham won their only other league title with a 7-1 win against Rotherham United on April the 22nd.
If Mullin does come off, he gets the biggest standing ovation this ground's ever seen. So I suppose there is that. Although Phil Parkinson is in no rush at the moment to get Palmer on.
Wrexham are still chasing every ball. James Jones leading the way again. Is it going to be now? Fourth official picks up his board. Ollie Palmer strides to the touchline. Still not going to happen, my word.
Yeah, the fourth official wasn't going to let anybody look down at Phil Parkinson.
Here we go then. Ollie Palmer is about to enter the scene. Who's coming off? It's Paul Mullin. Paul Mullin, the master marksman who has spearheaded Wrexham to promotion. Twice he's scored tonight, right foot and left foot, to put them within touching distance of the league. He's scored 38 league goals, 47 for the season, and there's still one match left. He has got a massive ovation, and my word, doesn't he deserve it, Barry Horn?
He absolutely 100% does, but looking at his face, I think he would have rather stay on the pitch for the next 2 or 3 minutes to try and get what would be a perfect hat-trick. Don't forget, left foot, right foot header. But he got his ovation, and his striking partner for much of the season will be on the pitch when the final whistle goes. And as I say, Palmer's played his part of the season, there's no doubt about that. He scored some big goals.
Boreham Wood still coming forward. The next big moment will be for Mr. Murtagh to tell us how long is left. The board goes up 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Wrexham fans. That's all you have to wait, and the Football League position will be yours again.
You can tell by the boos that 5 minutes is too long for most of them. And bear in mind that they were disappointed when they only added 2 on at the end of the first half. They can't have it always.
It's 5 minutes before, just a 5-minute delay before tucking into the lager, which this place is famous for. Other brands are available too, of course. It could be one almighty star-studded party in this part of North Wales, and such is the interest. I can see people in the distance stood on roofs just to get a glimpse of the moment that Wrexham go back to the Football League. They're peering past the floodlights. I don't know where they are. Where is that roof there, Barry Holm? What is that? Is that part?
That's on. I think that's on some of the television trucks in the compound. The other side of the where the building works going on.
Well, whoever it is, he's clapping along with the Wrexham fans. And there's a group behind them as well. All eyes on the racecourse, not just in Wrexham, but global eyes too. And they are almost there. They are almost there. We've played a minute and a half of the added 5 on an occasion never to be forgotten by the 10,000 plus who are inside this vibrant, ecstatic stadium here in Wrexham. Break down the right side, Broadbent went chasing, but it's been dealt with by Mendy again. Palmer flicks on, Dolby won't give up this. Bush gets back there though for Boreham Wood. They still have a playoff place to chase in their final 2 games, but all eyes are on Wrexham now. We're just waiting for the moment, Barry Hall. We're just waiting for the moment. And you think this is the time when people normally leave with a couple of minutes to go to beat the traffic. We've just seen a gentleman come back here. I think he's been
changed his mind.
Yeah, he's changed his mind. He does want to be part of this party.
I can't see a single seat
that's been emptied. No. In fact, there's a couple of others coming back. They've obviously gone to spend a penny or whatever and make sure they're back in time for the big celebration. Well, you've got about 2 minutes to wait wherever you are. This global story, this worldwide famous club, they're famous on TikTok, they're famous on every social media, they're famous in the US of A, of course, and not to mention Canada, where Ryan Reynolds is from, and they are one of the historic clubs of Welsh football. And they're about to go back to where these fans all believe they belonged. Little did they know that 15 years ago they would end up being the longest serving club in the 5th tier. A minute and a half. There are people stood up clapping around me. They've all got their phones in the air. They want this moment for posterity. The cameras are gathering around the dugouts. Maybe to get a shot of Molly Stevens, who knows? But I suspect Phil Parkinson will be a bit more centre of attention. We are inside the last minute. There's no turning back now. Wrexham are heading back to League Two. They're going to have to defend this free kick, which is being taken by Brunt into the Wrexham box, headed out by Mendy, the former Boreham Wood player. All eyes now on the referee, Scott Jackson.
There's fans on the track. There's fans come over the advertising audience.
Yeah, there are people approaching onto the pitch on the far side and behind the goal as well.
That's not good.
Wrexham have got security, but nobody's going to stop the charge onto the pitch, I don't think. It's just far too many trying it. Toes it away, cleared away again. We are seconds away now. I make it almost time. The final whistle goes. And the loudest racecourse roar for a generation will tell you Wrexham are back in the Football League for the first time since 2008. There's a huge invasion of the pitch, but it's a joyous invasion. There are pink flares going off as well. Scenes of unbeatable ecstasy. Wrexham are back. 15 years of pain and heartache and flirting with oblivion is consigned to history, because this Wrexham team are making their own history, and it's sprinkled with Hollywood stardust. They've got superheroes in Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. They brought a global interest to this club. Rob McElhenney is in tears. The eyes of the world are on this part of Wales, but everybody now knows next season it's not Wealdstone, it's Walsall for Wrexham. They are back where they belong in the Football League, and it's quite fitting, as the pitch is covered in smoke, that it's Paul Mullins' double, the master marksman, who's got them there. They've done it on the night. Let the party begin. It's finished. Wrexham 3, Boreham Wood 1. Welcome to Wrexham, says the Football League next season.
Wow, what a scene in front of us. Absolutely incredible. You can almost not see the field down there. It's like being in a thick fog. There's just smoke going up from everywhere, from the flares, the pink and red flares down there on the field. There must be a good 3,000 fans at least on the field at the moment. There are thousands of camera phones being held up in the air to film what they can see down beneath them here in the Wrexham Lager stand. Goodness knows where Phil Parkinson is amidst all of that. I don't know where the players are. They were all absolutely mobbed, as you would expect from the players. Some were sort of hoisted aloft, others were just hugged and embraced by the Wrexham fans. It is just an incredible scene on the field at the moment as the biggest party Wrexham has ever seen begins. Celebrations not just here at the racecourse, but in the streets of Ruab on down the road, Rossick, Gresford, right across North Wales, pockets of Wales where Wrexham fans live, and of course in North America. The Hollywood story is complete. They're back after 15 years. The exile is over. The agony is over as the Football League door swings back open for Wrexham at last. There will be, when this pitch clears, and who knows when that's going to be, a trophy presentation. They will lift the National League trophy. They are title winners. They will go to Torquay next weekend to enjoy themselves. No more pressure. This epic battle with Notts County comes to a conclusion. Barry Horn and Rob Phillips. Wow, what a night. Sum this up, sum up this scene. 15 years, Barry.
Well, I don't like the expression deserve to be in the league or belong in the league. That doesn't apply to anyone. Wrexham deserve to be back in the league after the season that they've had. It's been a phenomenal season. Commiserations of sorts to Notts County who pushed Wrexham all the way, but every time Notts County have matched Wrexham have matched Notts County and they've won the championship. It's been a phenomenal effort. Congratulations to Phil Parkinson, who has been the architect. Congratulations to Paul Mullen, who will undoubtedly be Player of the Year, deservedly. But you go to the team, Ben Tozer, Ben Foster, James Jones, Luke Young, who, there will be players that get left behind as the club progresses. Luke Young's been a terrific captain, lost his place later on. Amazing. The fans, brilliant. Absolutely superb, and they've played their part home and away. It's just been a great season and a great story.
Joe, we've been coming here for years, Ian, and there's a gentleman behind me who's been sitting here for years behind us, and he just said to me, 15 years of hell he's gone through, and this is making it all worthwhile. These are the people I really feel for, the Wrexham supporters. So much heartache. I said it, a brush with oblivion on more than one occasion, but they've come through everything. They put their futures on the line, they put their wealth on the line, they've shown the commitment, the desire, and they've had a sprinkling of Hollywood stardust to take them back to where they so belong.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mulcahy, I'm sure, are still in the boxes over on that Mole Road stand. I wouldn't have thought they'd want to be in the midst of all of that right now. Or maybe they would, who knows, but it is absolutely crammed, that pitch down there. We're on air for another 15 minutes on all Radio Wales frequencies, so hopefully before then, before 9:15, we might just squeeze in the trophy celebrations. If not, we're on air on FM in the north, we think, until 9 o'clock to make sure that all of the people who live in this area get to hear that happen live in their local area. But there's a gap opening up between the supporters on this half of the field and over on that far side, so people are starting to recede, starting to go back into the stands. We'll try and bring you some live reaction soon. We're trying to bring in Rob and Barry's microphones at the moment. What are you saying, guys?
To be honest, I'm not sure they'll come back out until the pitch is at least partially cleared.
The plan, and it's written here, is that the sheet earlier on telling us what's going on. All the players will walk along this stand, the main stand, but only as soon as that pitch is cleared. So we could be another 25 minutes away from any trophy. But who can blame these supporters for hanging around? It's always going to happen. I mean, it appeals to supporters to stay off the field, as they always do, but 15 years out of the Football League, this is just an outpouring of celebration and joyous relief that all of those near misses, all of those if-onlys and what might have happened moments are now behind them. Getting to the playoff final in 2013, getting to playoff semi-finals and failing to get over the line. It's all over. They are up. They are into League Two next season. They're trying to make an announcement over the PA system to encourage people to leave the field. The message to them is that the players will not be coming back out there until they've all gone. I think we can go down into the tunnel and join Molly Stevens. You're in the sanctuary of the tunnel, Molly.
I am indeed. I mean, if you could hear the players coming through here, which I'm sure you will as more make their way through, it's absolutely unbelievable. The screams, the whoops, the hollers, they are so excited. I mean, I've got to say, what I've seen outside of the tunnel is extremely packed pitch. But as the players make their way in here with grins on their faces, I mean, it's like nothing you've ever seen, to be honest with you, Ian. They're all embracing one another. Huge hugs between Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullin. Luke Young is walking past me here. It's absolutely extraordinary scenes. You'll hear them as you come past. Amazing.
Did you see what happened to Phil Parkinson? Because I saw him hug one of the substitutes, I think, one of the unused subs. Not sure where he went from there.
To be honest with you, no. I had to leave the pitch side position as soon as I could, just before the final whistle, because of the impending pitch invasion, just to make sure that we stayed as safe as possible here. So what I can see has been mainly from the tunnel area. I've got to say, a Boreham Wood player did come through the tunnel area and say that he was allegedly hit by a fan while out on the pitch, and that he was looking for the referee to report that incident too. But everyone seems to have come in here safely, and the scenes continue out on the pitch, Ian.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. We'll come back to you if we can in just a few moments, but there's a big group of a few hundred supporters who are going to need to be persuaded to leave the field before the players will come back out for that trophy lift, the National League trophy, which will, I presume, go back out to the middle, to the centre spot where it was earlier, where they were doing the rehearsals. They've set up a little area to our left-hand side on the edge of the penalty area, right on the edge of the 18-yard box, and a big sign that says champions, Wrexham champions of the National League. That is where the celebrations are going to take place.
There because the fans are on the pitch, so now the photographs forevermore are going to have the cop behind them.
So you say that's not the best backdrop, is it? The building site? Anywhere
but that. But they've had to put it there because the fans are on the pitch. If that Mould Road stand was full and they do the presentation there, then that's going to be a rubbish photograph, the truth be known. And that's going to be the photograph forever.
Yeah, let's hope the photo is full though, and I'm sure it will be, of players and staff and what have you. I mean, you won't be able to see the background, the non-existent cop stand, which they are going to be rebuilding, and it'll be the future for Wrexham now into League Two. Can they climb further up the ladder through the English pyramid system? We've talked about it on this programme. Is this just the first step of many? Barry Horn, can they go through the leagues up into League One, Championship? Well, Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mulcahy says the Premier League is the ultimate destination, but let's just focus on next season and how well they can get on then.
I've got absolutely no doubt that they will go through Division 2 rapidly. I think that they've definitely got the capability and the potential to make it to the Championship. Then you are in a whole different world of finance, of quality, of opposition, and that's going to be Division League 2, no problem. League 1, well within their capability. Then, as I say, a quantum, a completely different set of challenges in terms of the opposition that you're going to face, the quality and the finances.
I'm just trying to turn around to get some reaction from the fans behind me here as we hear the PA announcer make another attempt to get the fans off of the field. Can you hear me first of all?
I can, yes.
Good, that's the main thing. How are you feeling, sir?
Absolutely elated.
Yeah.
That's not for me, but for most Wrexham fans. 15 years of hurt actually done away with in one night.
One night. What one nervy night, wasn't it?
Yes, until we got that first goal and then came out the second half and Mullen did what he did. That was absolutely outstanding.
And the man to your left, what about those goals? What about the first goal from Paul Mullin in particular?
Oh, the first goal was out of this world, really. I mean, we couldn't have better seats sat here watching it curl into the top corner. Hollywood goal for a Hollywood game, isn't it, really?
Yeah, if any goal was going to take Wrexham up into the Football League, a goal of that quality,
and
I mean, just amazing.
Paul Mullin as well, wouldn't it?
What does this mean to you? I mean, you were saying, 15 years of hell was the word you used.
It's 15 years of hurt, the majority of Wrexham fans. And this is just done away with it overnight. But it's onwards and upwards with the owners we've got and what they will do and what they've promised. Let's move forward year on year now.
How far can they go?
I think it's Brighton. We lived outside Brighton. We watched Brighton go to the Premiership. Why not?
Yeah, all the way to the Premier League one day.
All the way to with the right investments, and they're showing that. So why not?
What's your Saturday night going to look like? How what's your part? You got any parties or celebrations planned now?
No, because we've got to get back home.
Right, to where?
We've got to get back only a mile away.
Right, okay.
But we've got to go and sort our dogs out.
Enjoy the night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. We'll try and bring some more fans in if we can here on Radio Wales. Those guys just behind us here, jumping around all night. The noise was deafening. It was just, well, a privilege to be here, really. One of those historical moments where you can say, I was here to see Wrexham get back into the Football League. We're nearly there, I think. Rob Phillips and Barry Hall, we're nearly there. The pitch is nearly cleared, so we're not too far away from the trophy celebrations, I think.
Yeah, the photographers are setting up in the centre circle with their lenses all pointing towards the Kop end, which is where it looks like they're going to stick with the presentation at that end.
Yeah, it's going to be there on the edge of the goal mouth.
I don't understand why, when you've got a full stand of people, if you just turn your cameras the other way and move it's only a couple of bits of cardboard. You could easily just put them in front of that massive, impressive stand full of people.
Oh, well, never mind. They'll be happy to lift that trophy wherever they can on that field. They waited long enough for it. They're pulling down the goals at the moment. The goal's already gone down to our left, and now the one to our right is being pulled down, and they're going to get rid of that, put that into storage. That is it for the season at the racecourse. They're all done here. One more game to go. Away to Torquay next weekend. But what a luxury, Rob, to go to Torquay having done the job. They can enjoy that.
Fantastic. And let's be honest, we talked about it in the commentary. It's been a titanic tussle. Notts County deserves so much praise for what they've done. I don't think there's a Wrexham fan here that would begrudge Notts County winning the playoffs, because the title race has been captivating, absorbing for so long. But Wrexham were always the favourites to win out, and
well, they weren't always the favourites. Last few weeks they've been favourites.
Well, okay, but I think the bookies thought they were going to win.
Oh, sorry, yes, actually at the bookies, but Notts County at times were got the nose in front.
They were relentless.
And
they were relentless.
Absolutely relentless. And there was a question of, would they have a bad spell? They haven't. Would they have a couple of bad results? They haven't.
To think that it's taken 110 points to win this title. It's taken 115 goals to win this National League title, to claim that so sought after place.
Yeah, they still haven't scored as many as Notts County.
No, exactly.
Even after tonight.
Exactly. It's amazing.
The one thing I would say, I mean, it's Wrexham's night tonight. It's absolutely Wrexham's night tonight. It's not Notts County's. But in previous years, you know, the playoffs become a bit of a lottery. I do genuinely think that if Notts County don't let this, they must have been preparing for this mentally. If they don't let this knock them back too badly, they've shown themselves time after time after time to be resilient, to be the other team of quality, which they are better than the other teams. You can't say that always in previous years, that there's been such a gap, and you know that's the thing that
I'm no psychologist, but I think it's probably helped them that after defeat here, they were able to get their heads around the fact that they looked likely to be in the playoffs. And of course, they've got the very decent insurance of having the top scorer in the league. Paul Mullen's not even the top scorer in the National League, and they had the certainty today to leave Macaulay Langstaff on the bench against Maidstone. But this is all about Wrexham, as you say, Barry. Notts County will get on with it, but this, amazingly, how quick the pitch has been cleared, I'd have to say that.
Yeah, they've done well. And you know, the fans just wanted their moment, didn't they? And the fans in the Mould Road have waited patiently and faithfully, have sat in their seats to wait for the presentation. And that's great, because now the players can get the trophy and they can go and they can parade it to the fans in the stands. I mean, I don't think hardly anybody's left. All of the fans that were on the pitch are now crammed behind the advertiser. A lot of them haven't actually gone back to their seats. They're crammed behind the lower tier, behind the advertising boards, but they're off the pitch. The pitch is a safe environment now, and hopefully it stays like that so the players can do. It's not quite a lap of honour, is it? It's a 3/4 of a lap of honour.
Here's the thing, we've got the 2-goal hero, Paul Mullin, with Molly Stevens.
Me. He tells me, it's BBC Wales. BBC Radio.
Hello, can you hear me? I've got Paul Mullin here down the tunnel, record goal scorer for Wrexham and 2 goals tonight. Paul, how are you feeling?
We're older men, you know, to deal with the pressure we have done this season and all the stuff that comes with playing for Wrexham. I'm just so proud of all the lads for the hard work and commitment we've put in, and we finished it off tonight. You know, it took longer than we thought it would. If we get 100 odd points, you're breaking records. You think you'd win it a lot earlier, but due to Notts County being phenomenal this season, they took it to the end. But I'm so happy we managed to get it over the line tonight, especially at home, for all the fans, all the hurt they've had through the years, and all the fans who kept the club going, the ones who we've lost on the way, and they haven't been able to see the club be returned to the EFL. But now, you know, it's a lovely moment for a set of players and all the staff to give the fans the rewards for obviously saving the club, which was unbelievable. And Rob and Ryan have come in and took it to the next level, and you know, things are looking up. But we're so proud of all the lads, and this is for the fans, really.
Super Paul Mullin is the name that they sing over and over again, time and time, week after week. You constantly deliver for this team. Do you realise what you've given to those fans out there?